The xDR16 is a rack-mounted audio expander for any iLive mix rack. It adds 16 mic line preamps, 8 XLR line outputs, an extra port B expansion slot, network ports and an integrated ACE interface. Up to 2 xDR16 expanders may be connected over Cat5 cable to any iLive mix rack via an ACE option card fitted in its port B. They can be used for local audio at the surface, distribute audio across a stage or multi-room venue, recording at front of house and more. Adding 2 expanders to the IDR16 makes it the equivalent of the IDR48 with the advantage of distributed audio. Only one may be added to dual rack or front of house and monitor split systems. The xDR16 looks similar to the IDR16 mix rack, but it has no DSP and does not process any audio. It just provides extra input and output sockets and can map to the DSP channels of the mix rack it connects to. First, with the units off, fit an ACE audio network card to the port B slot of the mix rack. One of the mix rack network ports must be bridged to the ACE card control network socket using the short Cat5 cable provided. Now use ACE Link 1 to connect the XDR unit. Fit any optional networking card in the expander port B if needed, then switch the units on. ACE redundant link option must be set off. Check this in the Mix Rack Setup Mixer Preferences port AB setup screen. Now, if the mix rack has a default 192.168.1.1 IP address, the expander will automatically find it and work plug and play. If the mix rack has a different IP address, you will need to add the XDR expander manually from the Utility Network Expander Setup screen. To patch single inputs, use the Channel Preamp screen. Choose the XDR XLR socket or Port B input in the drop-down menu. Note that only 16 inputs are available from the expander port B due to the ACE bus architecture. To patch a range of inputs, use the Quick Input Source setup screen. Use the Outputs Port B screen to locate and patch the XDR, XLR and Port B outputs. If you are using the XDR Port B, then you can change which block of 8 ACE channels will feed the XLR sockets, so that it doesn't overlap with Port B outputs. Choose this in the Expander screen of the Mix Rack Setup Mixer Preferences menu. The XDR expanders must have compatible but unique IP addresses. They will not connect if addresses are incompatible or identical. By default, these are set to 192.168.1.20. If you are connecting 2 expanders, enter the Utility Network Setup screen and change the IP address and unit name of one expander before connecting the second. Then use ACE Link 2 to connect the unit. The block of 8 ACE channels feeding the XDR outputs are automatically set so that they don't overlap. You can change these settings in the Expander screen of the Mixer Setup Mixer Preferences menu.